Hello, my friends. This is Andy Falco Jimenez coming to you live from Yorba Linda, California. Nice to see you. I'm going to be answering some questions from a comment in one of the platforms that I do this live broadcast in. I think that you will enjoy the show. But I did want to make an announcement first about an upcoming show. I think it's an important one. Fortunately, I just got a phone call from my wife, so I may have to change the time that I was planning on doing it. I was thinking about doing it tomorrow morning, but a medical issue came up. So, but what I have coming up is an interview with a parent in the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District who was able to check out a book, or their child checked out a book that is pornography out of the Yorba Linda Unified, the Yorba Linda High School. And since that happened, I've been able to gain some information about what is happening. I think this is the good way, the best way to say it. There's more to the story, and it really does. Again, what I love about what's happening over the last several days, the last several weeks actually, is that things keep coming out that just simply confirm what all of us parents who have been fighting for our kids have been talking about over the last couple of years, whether it has to do with the pandemic, what it has to do with masks and vaccines, to CRT, DEI, and SEL. That information keeps coming out. Some of it with the help of Dr. Matthews, some of it with the help of the teachers unions admitting certain things. That everything. The parents of Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District have not been wrong yet about any of the things that we have been battling over the last couple of years. And it is just extraordinary that if you just wait long enough. So I got information regarding this book at the Yorba Linda High School library, but just simply waiting. I think it's been about a week. I've mentioned it a couple of times and showed you the cover, but it's called This Book is Gay. But what has come up because of that book, because of the pornography that is found in that book, is just the extra information just, again, supports everything that we've been talking about. So I'm going to start the show, as I'm probably going to end it, is that you just need to vote for Todd Frazier and Rich Engel and get Buck and Freeman out of our lives here in the schools. Just move them along, retire them. Carrie Buck can go do her homeless stuff, whatever that is, and stop using the resources of the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District to run her nonprofit, quotes. She can go and do that and use somebody else's resources, not our resources at the school district, and she can move on and take care of that herself. Because there is no way, if you're a parent who cares for their child, can, with the information that we've given you, whether it's me or the group, the person knocking on your door talking about Rich Engel or Todd Frazier, or what you've seen in other people's social media posts, to talking to people at parks, there's no way that if you care about your kids and that you're any kind of a parent, that you would not vote for Todd Frazier and Rich Engel. If you could care less about your children and you love the teachers unions, then of course you're going to vote for Buck and Freeman. But you can't do both. You can't love your kids and vote for Buck. You can't love your kids and vote for Freeman. It's an impossibility, because what comes with them is nonsense. All this kind of nonsense, which we're going to talk about right now. So let me get on to what it is that I'm actually here to talk about. But just stay tuned. I was going to do this show about the book tomorrow. But again, I just want to let you know it's an important one. I may have to push it a day or two down the road. Again, just circumstances I can't control. right now. And so just look for that. And I also know that I said I was going to come on every day. Halloween happened, and I was a little bit under the weather yesterday, so I unfortunately skipped a few days. So we have less than a week until we vote and change the lives of our children and our school district. So I got this message, or not the message, I got this comment on a show that I did actually some time ago. She must have just watched it yesterday. But actually, let me take down this lower third really quick. And so this was the comment. The comment was from Kathy Corcoran. Kathy Corcoran, apparently she's lives in the area in Yorba Linda, I believe. And she says, from my video, it was she starts off with a really funny comment because I've done nothing but talk about these three things that she starts off with. And the first one is, I don't trust you with comments that call teacher failures and evil. Number one, I didn't call all teachers failures and evil, but I'll continue. And then masks and vaccines protect students and teachers and is not nonsense. Okay, we'll address that. And then the next one is teachers do not teach curriculum that has not been approved by the district. That actually made me laugh out loud. That's one of the few times that I would have actually replied, LOL, maybe rolling on the floor. And then she goes in to say, you called Freeman incompetent, but you did not give any reasons. For the last 2 years, I've given reasons why Freeman is incompetent, but I'll be happy to go over them again, and we'll do so. And then it says you put Slawson down, but didn't give any reasons. Again, over the last several weeks, all I've been talking about is the reasons why he's not worthy of our vote for school board. And then all students should learn to validate and reflect the diversity of all students. And truth should be taught in schools. Yes, that's all we've been fighting for. Parents of all, again, I don't want to start at the end, but I'm going to address all of these things. And so let's take them one at a time. So let's first talk about the first one, which is I don't trust you with comments that all teacher failures and evil. Now, I think she meant that teachers are failures and evil. Number one, I've never said that all teachers are failures. I have had shows that are entitled, we love teachers, we just hate the school teachers unions. We love teachers, hate the teachers unions. Now, there are some teachers who have fallen into the trap of just doing everything that teachers unions have called them to do, and they have become useful idiots of the teachers unions. That's one of the problems. Those are the teachers that we have a problem with. Now, again, I've mentioned this too. There are probably a few teachers that now, you know, when you use the words useful idiot, that means that somebody does not really understand what it is that they are talking about. And so they just follow along with what the teachers unions do or the Democratic Party wants them to do. And they just go, well, this sounds good. It sounds good that we need to protect LGBTQ kids. It sounds good. It sounds good that we need to have what is called equity, which is racist, by the way, but it sounds good. For whatever reason, equity actually sounds good. And so then they just follow along. And so I do believe there's some teachers that are following along, but really do not know the damage that they are doing to their kids, their students that they're responsible for. And they do not even understand how it is that parents don't want this concept of equity in our schools. It doesn't work. It's never worked in our history. It's caused students to be separated in schools, segregation, that certain kids can only take certain buses because of their color, and now they're going to be there. Bring in the fact that they don't identify as the sex they were born with, and so you're going to have separate buses for that and separate locations for that. And when you begin to separate based on these issues, it is racist. And so there are teachers, again, that may be doing things that are failing our children or that are in the eyes of people that have morals, that it is evil. So we're not saying a blanket. We've never said, nobody that I know of, any parent that's been at the school boards have given a blanket statement that all teachers are evil and all teachers are failures. again, we have plenty of teachers that I've run into at different stores when I go shopping, to at school board meetings, to just going to the schools to parent teacher conferences, that kind of thing, where they flag me down, or they meet me, they kind of like look at me and they go, "I like what you're doing." They whisper in my ear, and then they don't, because they don't want anybody else to hear. So we have a large number of teachers that know exactly what's going on and do not try to indoctrinate our kids. And I think that's the majority. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. But there are a few, and these are the ones that either need to get their act together and show us that they're not going to do that any longer, or they need to be fired, or they need to just move on and find a school that they can indoctrinate kids, and they just need to move on. We think the Cal State University Fullerton and Chapman University have gone too far in pushing and teaching their student teachers about indoctrinating children and how to do it secretly. And we don't want any of those teachers coming to our school that are following the teachings of Cal State Fullerton and Chapman University and others that are doing it. And so you cannot trust me. That's fine. But your concept that I'm saying that all teachers are failures and they're evil is entirely wrong. And I've gone above and beyond, which I probably should do in relationship to this issue, because it's not true and we've never said it, but yet they constantly want to repeat some of this nonsense, which is just crazy. Joseph, thank you. Joseph says, thank you, Andy. Our PYL community has to get this right, or we are in trouble. Vote Frazier and Engel. We got this, PYL. Absolutely. All right. Thank you for that, Joseph. I appreciate it. All right. So the next one, she says, masks and vaccines protect students and teachers and is not nonsense. It is nonsense. For the last several years, I have done nothing but ask for school board members, school district superintendents, county school board members, county health officials, state officials, and as much as I could reach federal people and school board and teachers unions, give me the studies, the research, because I'm a parent and I deserve it, that you are using to continue. And this is back when we were still masking kids and forcing, and the thought of forcing vaccines were present. Show me what it is you're using that it is protecting students. It is protecting teachers. Never, not once, no one ever, can I say it one more time? Ever gave me anything that they were using to justify masking or vaccinating children in our school district or any other school district across the United States. Never have I received anything that shows that it works. They originally, as you know, with the vaccine, said that it would stop the vaccine and it would not spread the vaccine. We know that that's not true. That's false. They would make claims like, well, it makes it so that don't get as sick. I know people that got very sick, even though they were vaccinated, and some people got hospitalized. So and everybody does. We probably know far more people that have been vaccinated and have either gotten ill, and we know people that have passed away. And we understand that it's most likely due to one of the vaccines. Now, I know this is going to get pulled down and all that kind of stuff. I'll get suspended again, but it has to be said, because you have this nonsense again. The nonsense is the best word I could use. You know that I want to use some other kind of word, but masks and vaccines protect students and teachers, and it is nonsense, and you need to get over it. Again, I'm shocked still that I see families, husband and wife and children, walking down the sidewalk to school with masks on, all of them. The man needs to stand up and say, listen, this is crazy that we're doing this to our children. This is crazy, wife, that we are walking to school with masks. That father just needs to turn in his man card. It is really, really crazy that this is still happening and people are still falling for it. All right, next thing. I know I've said way too much there where this is just going to go away, but that's just the way it is. Teachers do not teach curriculum that has not been approved by the district. And again, this is crazy. I don't know who this woman is. What did I say her name was? Her name was Kathy Corcoran. I don't know what Kathy Corcoran does, but she's obviously never been at a school board meeting. She is not a teacher. She doesn't know any teachers because the next thing that I have here is a comment. Oops, sorry, is a comment that was from a teacher who has been teaching for 30 years. Her name is Heather Ann, and she just commented on one of my posts, and she says, I've been an educator for 30 years. I used to teach teachers. They go off the book all the time. Teachers push their own personal agendas all day long. That lady is crazy. Speaking to Kathy Corcoran. And thank you, Heather. I do appreciate that comment because we know that. If we've been at the school board meetings, we've heard parents who said, my student came home and said X, Y, Z, and that is not in the curriculum. We've had students get up and talk and say, I was taught X, Y, Z, and that is not in the curriculum. We just had somebody the other day say that they hate white people, that Columbus was a murderer, and a number of other nonsensical things. And where do they get that idea? It's from teachers, and it's not in the curriculum. So if it's not in the curriculum and that the students are getting taught this stuff, who's giving it to them? The teachers that go off book, and that is what we're talking about. So again, sorry, Kathy, but you're wrong on that one. We have, and again, let me just make sure I got her name straight. Yeah, Kathy. Sorry, I got Karen and I got Carrie, and now I have Kathy. We'll get rid of that. All right. So that's all I can tell you. Teachers teach off the curriculum, outside the curriculum all the time. And that's why we need cameras in the classroom. So we will be addressing that hopefully soon. All right. The next one that she said there was, you called Freeman incompetent, but you did not give any reasons. Kathy, where you been? That's all I've been doing over the last several years, is talking about how incompetent they are and the reasons why. And first of all, they've been in power, both Buck and Freeman, but especially Freeman. She's been around for 100 years in the school board. And the grades have been deteriorating over the years. And there's somebody's going, well, look at, they got an award of the whatever their awards are. And who are they getting the awards from? From the state of California, which is equally as evil as the teachers unions. So if you're getting an award from the devil, how can you say that this is a fantastic thing? And you got this distinguished school award. Yeah, they're distinguished because they are buying into what the teachers unions are forcing them to do, and they are being recognized for being followers, for being useful idiots. So they're getting distinguished useful idiot awards at these schools because they're following along, and they're getting rewarded, and they're able to take pictures and put placards in front of the school, that kind of stuff. And yet the grades are going down. So do you see where the incompetence comes from? That idea that Freeman and Buck and whoever was on the school board prior to Leandra and Sean, why we say that they're incompetent? Because the grades have been deteriorating, going downhill ever since they've been in power. And do not tell me it's because, and don't tell me your reply is, which I've gotten before, is that they've received this distinguished school awards. They're getting distinguished school awards from Sacramento. And that, again, that tells me nothing as a parent, because now I know what's happening. I didn't know before, and I thought it was great too. I did too. I was fooled like many other parents. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat that part of this is my fault and other parents' fault, who were not participating, that weren't paying attention, that didn't really understand, that didn't look into what was happening. And it's our fault that where we're at now, that we continue to vote for Freeman and Buck, because we thought just because they're in there, they must be doing the right thing. They have not been doing the right thing. And I bet you, if I were to look back at some period of time in my life, I probably voted for them. And I want to punch myself in the face, because if I would have known and I would have been paying attention, we may not have been in this position right now. And I'm going to tell you right now that I've received information about a drug dealer at Tuffrey Middle School, and I got pushback from wanting to report the drug dealer that is in 8th grade. And saying, what, you can't report him. He's only in 8th grade. What if he gets in trouble? Again, I've been a police officer for 21 years in Anaheim Police Department. And this, it makes no sense when people tell me this. Like, what, you don't report something where if I don't, somebody will die? What? Well, I don't understand. It just is beyond me, the thought that I would not, with information knowing that children have already been hurt by this drug dealer. or drug supplier, because I'm not sure if I can say dealer, because I'm not sure if they're making money. So they may just be supplying the drugs to other kids and then laughing and bragging to other kids in the school that, look at, I gave these people drugs and look at how messed up they got. And he laughs about it and think it's so funny. And I've got pushback. Well, you should report that because you might hurt this little kid's life. Yeah, he may kill somebody. And so this is the kind of nonsense that goes on, that you have to pay attention. You have to report. You have to be involved. You have to take action. If we don't take action and just allow this nonsense to continue because we're afraid that one person might hurt, and if we don't, several people will get hurt. We have an entire school district that's in trouble right now because nobody said anything. Do you see my point? Do you see where I'm going with this? Freeman and Buck are incompetent. We can see it in the school grades. Freeman, the other day at the school board meeting, didn't know what our government was. She like Dr. Matthews, thought that the United States of America was a democracy. It is not a democracy. It is a constitutional republic. And they fought about it and wanted to fight. And Freeman, again, pointing to her incompetence, said, well, Europeans think that we're a democracy, so let's just keep it. How is that? How is that competency when you have somebody who's in charge of education, essentially for the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District, doesn't know what our government is? And when she finds out that it's not what she thinks it is, she says, well, let's keep it because the people in Europe think that we're a democracy. That is incompetency, just to name a few. She wanted to keep our kids masked. She wanted to, she was fighting, if I believe, against not vaccinating kids. That I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure there was a discussion where she was for vaccinating kids. But again, I could be wrong. She voted to keep CRT and SCL and DEI, and will fight for it and has continued to fight for it. She is beholden to the teachers unions. She's accepted tens of thousands of dollars for her campaign from the CTA, the NEA, and the APLE. She's being funded by the teachers unions. That is incompetence, because we know the teachers unions want nothing more than to destroy the education of our children here in the United States of America, in California, and in Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District. So you wanted reasons. I'm giving you reasons. I've been giving these reasons for several years. And so there you have it. Those are the reasons why she's incompetent and needs to be voted out. The next one was you put Slawson down, but don't give any reasons. Again, I've been giving reasons. You haven't been watching, apparently, and maybe you haven't been paying attention, because there have been plenty of social media posts about his marijuana dispensary that he owned prior to it being legal, but has denied owning a marijuana dispensary and lying about it. So is it wrong that he owns a dispensary? It's not wrong, nor is it illegal. What is wrong is that he lies about it. He's afraid. Why not admit it? Why not say, yes, I'm a part owner. I'm a fraction owner. I have I'm a stakeholder in whatever. But it's the legal kind. Why not have this discussion? The incompetence comes, and the put down comes when there's a lack of honesty. How can we have a person in charge of our schools through the school district and via the school board as a trustee if you can't trust him? The idea that he's a trustee is that you have to trust him with our kids. That's what a trustee means. That we can feel sure that he has the best interest of not only the students but the parents in mind. And just on this alone, he's lied about a lot of things, but just this alone is disqualifying. That the subject matter can be brought up, and he continues to deny it. Yet we have done research, and we do see his name on the corporate papers for a dispensary. He also lied about dropping out when Todd Frazier did receive the endorsement. Sorry, I almost said nomination. The endorsement from the Orange County GOP and a number of other endorsements. Todd Frazier has all the endorsements in the world for being the school board member, and yet Steve Slawson, who said he would drop out and shook hands with Todd, said, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do it. Again, when somebody is called a trustee and you can't trust them, then he is not worthy of being elected school board member, trustee for Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District. And I could go on. There's other lies that he's spouted, and not only him, but his team, his campaign manager, to the people walking door to door, and a number of other things that are going on. So those are the basics, but we can continue to go down that road. But that's enough. Like I said, you just need the one. You just pick one of them, and it disqualifies them. You can't find any of those things with Todd Frazier. Is Todd perfect? No. Am I saying he's Jesus Christ? No. I'm just telling you that when you're looking at somebody that's going to be a trustee at the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District, that Todd Frazier has not given me any reason to think that he can't be trusted. Nothing. Will something happen? It's possible. Is he perfect? Again, no, he's not. But surely just starting out the gate, Steve Slawson was not trusted, could not be trusted, and should not be trusted, and should not be voted for. He should not receive one vote, as Karen Freeman should not receive one vote, because she's shown incompetency for years, and Steve Slawson has showed that he cannot be trusted just right out the gate. All right. Sorry, I think I might have beat that one up too much. All students should learn to validate and reflect the diversity of all students. Okay. Who should they learn that from? Parents. Their parents should teach them that. Their parents should teach, not a woke teacher that has been indoctrinated through Cal State University, Fullerton, or Chapman University. Not that kind of person should be teaching diversity to those kinds of children. I teach diversity with my children. I've told you, when we go to all the different places we go to pick up all my children's friends. Remember, I have 6 children. 5 of them are still in schools. So they play some type of sports, and we're spending time with all these different kids. It looks like I don't know. It looks like just like any other. It looks like school, because we have every race, we have every gender, we have every type of child that you can imagine: rich, poor, very poor, nearly homeless kids that come to our house and enjoy being with us. And we give them rides, and we laugh together, we hug, and we give high fives, and they wrestle through the house. And my children, along with the other children that are here, understand that diversity just is what it is. They don't look at each other as all these colors. And maybe every so often they'll joke about somebody's accent or something like that and have fun with it. But nobody feels attacked. Nobody gets strung up. Nobody gets forced to a corner and says, hey, you can't come in the kitchen because you're a different race than I am. None of that kind of stuff happens. But where do they learn that? They learn that from their parents, because we here have different races in our family alone. Children are dating other children of other races here in this home. And so the teacher should not be doing that. The parents should be doing that. And so let's United Nations. That's what I was looking for before. It looks like the United Nations here at my house and in my car all the time. All right. And the last thing here is truth should be taught in schools. Absolutely. I don't know. That shouldn't have to be said. Right. That's the odd thing, is that we have to say that. It was an odd thing that our pastor at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, Jack Hibbs, had to get up in front of the podium, in front of the congregation, and say, hey, I'm going to say something, and this is kind of wild, but there's 2 genders. And the place went wild. And I reflected on it and said, wow, what happened? When did it become controversial to say that there are 2 genders? When did it become something that you had to give a warning that what he was about to say was going to shock some people? How did that happen? It's like saying, this is going to be shocking to you, but 2 + 2 = 4. Oh, I know that upsets people when I say 2 + 2 = 4. I know that's really controversial. It's this craziest thing. That this window over here is made of glass. Whoa, really? No, you can't say glass. Glass is a bad thing. It's just really just kind of crazy what's happening in our world right now. So those are some of the questions that I wanted to address, and statements that I wanted to address. Kathy Corcoran, I hope that you are watching so that you got the answers that you are looking for in regard to each one of these issues you brought up. And I appreciate it that you gave me a platform, or gave me a show idea that we could come on and talk about those things. If you're watching this now, feel free to comment. If you are watching the replay, please comment and let me know what it is that you may have questions of. And just like Kathy, comment, and I can use some of those questions in the future for future shows. We still have 6 days left before the election, and it'll be important to get some of those other things, some of those other questions that you may have answered, so that you go to the ballot booth informed and to make the right decision. Again, hundreds of parents have looked at Todd Frazier and Rich Engel and agree that they are the best candidates and the best for our school district, and need to be sitting in those seats. We need to get Buck and Freeman out of those seats. They've been in there way too long, and we see what happens when somebody's there too long is that they make bad decisions and show how incompetent they are once we begin to look at what's happening. Down at the bottom here on this screenshot, you're going to see down there where it says that this is an endorsement. Here, I'll show you oh, no, that's not the right one. Here it is. This is Buck and Freeman, and you see these flyers that were mailed out by the APLE and the CSEA. Also, the CTA and the NEA are involved in all this, which are all teachers unions, and they paid for all this. And they sent it to all the teachers in the school district and in the state of California to support these two candidates. And down at the bottom, it says right here, ad paid for by Association of Placentia Linda Educators, which is the APLE, Apple. And again, this is, they want to make some claims sometimes that they are not, we're not really associated with you. Why would you want to avoid that? Because they're horrible people, the teachers unions. The teachers unions are really the cabal behind the destruction of our education system in the United States, especially here in California, because of the CTA. CTA is so strong. California Teachers Association is so strong and so demonic that they've got a hold of our school districts here, and we need to vote out the school board members that support them, and also that the teachers union support. All right, so share this out. If you're watching the replay, feel free to comment, and if you have any questions, make sure that you put them in the comment section. All right, I will take a look at them, and I will put them hopefully on our next show. All right, my friends, God bless, and I will see you at the next one. Take care. Bye.